2, 1.
Here we go!
Hey guys, we're back cruising through the pits here, round one of the Triple Crown Series in Calgary. Moving on to a couple more different bikes to take a look at. We're at the Walton Canadian Kawasaki team here with Caden Lee, checking out Dylan Walsh's number 54 KX250. Thanks a lot for taking some time to show us the bike.
Yeah, no problem.
Cool. So yeah, we usually start off just the kind of the basics of the bike, the controls. Looks like you guys are running Mika bars. Anything special as far as the bend? Any preferences for his upper controls there that he likes set up differently than other riders that you worked with in the past?
Yeah, he does a couple different things. Like underneath, we'll cut this crossbar in half so that the bars get a bit more flex. And then this year as well, we put on an ASV levers. So we'll drill a couple holes in that, make sure if he does like tip over or anything, like that'll break off, that'll break the whole lever
point. Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Do you guys have many different options with the lever throw and ratios and stuff like that?
Yeah, we got to try some different stuff down south at Club MX, and yeah, we ended up with this one. He ran this already on a Supercross bike this year, so it was pretty easy.
Nice. Would you say it's a pretty aggressive? Does he like the front brake to come on pretty strong initially, or is he
he
more of an
like
aggressive guy?
Yeah, he likes it to come on right away.
Cool. And it looks like you guys are running the X-Tray triple clamps. Are you guys on stock offset or much experimenting with that as well?
Yeah, we played around with that. Like we also partnered up with FCP this year, so we have different race cups and stuff we can try. But we didn't end up going with that package. So yeah, we're just on stock in the middle. Yeah.
Cool. When he says FCP race cups, what they're talking about is in the steering stem there's some different bearing races that you can change the head angle. You're playing with the rake and the trail, all sorts of different measurements on these bikes that really does change the handling characteristics. So if you're looking for more stability, more aggressive turning, these race teams can play with a lot of that stuff to get the desired feel for each rider. So it's pretty interesting stuff. Standard height seats.
Yep.
Guts Racing cover, it looks like, likes the grip.
Yep.
Foot pegs, these things are bright and shiny in the sun here today. Can you tell us who provides those for you?
Yeah, Flow, they provide us with those pegs. We just started with them like honestly a month or so ago. So we've been just kind of playing with them. They're good. You can pop out the pegs and put different pegs in, like the
cleats.
Yeah, the cleats.
Texture and the profile of those.
Yep.
Oh, very cool. And then rear brake and shifter, he's pretty neutral and that kind of stuff. Anything special with the position of where he likes his controls?
Yeah, the only thing we did differently is that that little Fastco brake piece. So it just gives it more of a firm feeling. That's about all we did. Too much.
Nice. Awesome. I guess moving on to the rest of the chassis here, the suspension package, who's handling that for you?
TCD, Tim Bennett at TCD. He came down to Club MX and we really got this thing in a pretty good spot. So
nice.
It'd be good.
I guess, yeah, keeping the theme with the preferences, would you say, like working with different guys over the years, is he a bit on the stiffer side, softer side, pretty normal for a guy his size?
Yeah, he's rode a lot down in the States, so he's more on like the stiff side. Compared to like when we got him on what we had last year, he really went stiffer for sure.
Nice. Okay, cool. And that's looking like the standard Showa components. You guys are just working with that, revalving with Tim there?
Yep.
Awesome. I guess moving on to the power plant, anything special? Obviously, the 250 class horsepower is king, so these teams are squeezing every bit of power they can out of these bikes. So between the motor package, exhaust system, electronics, what do we have working with the engine side of things?
Yeah, Williams helps us out. Honestly, I think they're from Wisconsin, and yeah, they do a really good package. They also help out with some other teams down in the States. And yeah, we just did a couple small things in the motor, but like, it's definitely a notch up from what we previously had. And then we put an electric water pump on, so that just takes a bit of drag off the motor. And yeah, and then that RP pipe definitely increases some horsepower.
Yeah, that's cool. It's seeing more of those systems pop up. It's a Canadian company here that some of these teams are repping these new exhaust systems. So good to see the Canadian market being represented well here up at the Canadian Series. Gearing, are you guys far from stock on that? Any internal changes as far as primary drive and stuff like that?
Stock
Gearing.
Stock.
Cool. Keep it easy.
Yep.
Nice. Just visually looking around, some nice carbon guards. P3 looks like they're doing the skid plate and the rotor cover there.
Yep.
Who's doing the wheel sets for you?
RP wheels and rims.
Nice.
Pretty sure they're called.
Okay, and Dunlop tire support.
Yep.
Awesome. Obviously, Calgary here being a bit more hard pack soil conditions. We're on the looks like the MX34 tires, where I'm sure once we move to the East Coast, we're going to be going to probably the scoop and some more aggressive tread profiles on the front end as well. So. Awesome. And it looks like I saw the switch up here on the handlebars. Get ignitions. Is that all through Williams as well? Any tuning or testing with that stuff that you guys are doing?
Steve has a big pull with Get Down in USA with Dan Truman. So yeah, we just do it all through him, and yeah.
Nice. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, it's amazing. Like back in the day when the early four strokes came out, when they were still carbureted, it was a lot of physical motor modifications that these teams were using to get power, where now a lot of that is hidden in the electronic systems, launch control modes, different mapping, all that kind of stuff makes a huge difference for different fuels, elevation changes. These teams are constantly updating and keeping on top of that mapping to make sure the bikes are running their best for each weekend. So very interesting stuff. Well, that's great. I think that's pretty much covers the bike head to toe. Thank you so much for taking the time to show us, and best of luck here at round one.
Thank you very much.
Awesome.